This crisis that we find ourselves in, that has totally turned our world on its axis, has clearly caused a lot of interruption to the normal flow of our lives. But most of us, as we go through life, often find ourselves in autopilot, sort of going through the motions. We're wired as humans to take the path of least resistance and to get caught in this default mode rather than being really intentional about what we're doing and why we're doing it. And while we may not have wanted a crisis like this, there are gifts in it. And one of those gifts is the invitation to step back and rethink our lives, rethink how we're doing life, rethink the assumptions that really drive our lives and the values that we so often govern our lives by. Now, I'm guessing that you, like me, want to live a meaningful life. You want to make the very most of the life that you're living. And yet, so often I meet people who don't feel that way, who aren't living the highest, the holiest, biggest vision for their one and only precious lives, and who find themselves feeling some level of stuck or some level of melancholy or dissatisfaction with their lives. So if you're in that situation right now, I invite you to take this time that you've been given, that you aren't spending driving to work, racing around after your kids to sports, doing all the things that you would ordinarily do, to really step back and ask yourself, what do you want your life to stand for? What is the future that you most want to create out the other side of this crisis? And yes, it will pass. So if I can help you in doing that, I would love to do so. As you may know, some of you have read my book, Make Your Mark. That book was really a 7-step guidebook to help you get unstuck and on track toward the highest vision for your life. So if you haven't read it, I think that's a great resource. I know that'll be a great resource for you. Otherwise, I also invite you to check out my Life Compass course. I created that course after I released Make Your Mark. A lot of people said they wanted to have more of a coaching experience to really go through those 7 steps. And so during this period of the crisis, from now until it's over, but I invite you to check out the Life Compass course. I'm currently offering 70% discount off the normal price of the course because I really want people to use this time in a way that helps them live the rest of their lives more purposefully, more bravely, more wholeheartedly, in a way that gives them a greater sense of meaning and personal satisfaction. So if you'd like to go over and check out the Life Compass course, there will be a URL with this post and along with the discount code that you can put in that gets you the 70% off. Of course, if that's not of interest to you, that's totally okay. I just invite you to use this time right now to step back and ask yourself, what do I want to do with my one and only precious life? What really matters to me? And how can I live my life in a more meaningful way? Because it's my hope that this crisis, as awful as it is, will also be a catalyst for profound transformation at an individual level and how we each live our own lives, at the level of our organizations and of our governments and of our communities, but also at a whole planetary level and a global level, that we will be able to create a better and braver and more equitable and kinder world out the other side of this. So if I can support you in that way, I would be honored. But either way, I just encourage you to take this time to reflect, to reset, and to reimagine the highest vision for your life. Take care.